He's trying to go whoop some ass in Pittsburgh.
What's up guys, I'm Malcolm. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with an update from the reigning Mr. Olympia, Samson Dauda. So the champ has been very busy, especially after this year's Arnold. First of all, setting up his own private gym. And this is something that Samson always dreamed about. Plus all the tours and the guest appearances that he has been doing. So the gym is about to open tomorrow. And as far as Samson's training is concerned, it's been 4 weeks since he has been totally off everything, all sorts of gear and the PEDs, which we all know has been Samson's protocol. And he does that every single year after his competition season, which ends at the Arnold. So from next week onwards, Samson is gonna try to ramp things up. And he's gonna slowly start building for the off-season ahead. So would Samson have been in a better place if he did not do this year's Arnold and just focused on defending the Olympia title this year? Well, a lot of people see it that way, but not Samson. I mean, the man loves to compete, and he has been very content with his decision of doing this year's Arnold. And the fact is, he still made a lot of money by getting second at the Arnold this year. Now, considering the fact that Samson wasn't as spot on at the Arnold in comparison to the Olympia last year, especially that was the case at the Arnold prejudging. And that was a big reason why he lost to Derek. I know Derek was 100% on, but the fact is Samson also wasn't at his 100%. And we saw that the scorecards revealed that even with all that, there was only 1 point difference between Derek and Samson at the finals. Now the fact is Samson still has huge size advantage over his competition. And even though it is pretty clear that the judges want to see him get even more peeled for this upcoming Miss Olympia, he's still gonna be the biggest guy on the stage, even if he loses another 10 pounds, just to get shredded, just to show up peeled to the bone. So what do you guys think? Is this something Samson should consider for the upcoming Miss Olympia? Come in a few pounds lighter, but be absolutely ripped. Guys, we have a limited time offer. If you buy any flavor of Bloodshot, you are gonna get a free Dying Breed t-shirt. The discount code is on the screen right now, and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. So we are 1 day out of the Arnold Brazil, and this show will be of great importance because a big bodybuilding star is coming back to the stage after 1 year exactly, and a star who's about to make a big impact in the world of bodybuilding tomorrow. Because everyone who has seen GoodVito in the last few months, they all agree that this is a guy who is gonna be a force to be reckoned with at this year's Pittsburgh Pro in a very deep lineup. So Sergio Oliva Jr. himself, he's a very wide guy, very big guy. He's massive himself, and for him to say those kind of words for GoodVito when he knows what caliber of competition is waiting for him in Pittsburgh this year, that is just insane, and that is truly admirable.
He's trying to go whoop some ass in Pittsburgh. I think that he is. I think he's pretty. He thinks he can hang with them. I think he can too.
I think he can, absolutely.
I don't think he's gonna win, but I think he absolutely can hold his own. This guy is like a. I don't know if you guys seen him in person, but he is very wide.
No, I think he can hang. I think he can hang with anybody.
And right now, this has already been established that Vito is winning that show tomorrow, no matter what, and the man is securing his Olympia spot for this year. The right question is, how big of a threat GoodVito is gonna turn out to be at this year's Pittsburgh Pro against guys like Nick Walker, Martin, and the reigning Arnold champion, Derek Lunsford. Now, most people out there, they're concerned about his back, more specifically the back double biceps. And we got to see another sneak peek of Vito's back just a few days out of the show. And Ramon Dino, who just saw the legendary back of Derek Lunsford during this year's Arnold prep, he seemed to be really impressed with the density that GoodVito has packed on, especially on his back, in the past 1 year. So the skin quality on Vito, that is super thin, and that is one of the best out there. And that's the ideal case scenario for him, actually for any bodybuilder out there, to have that kind of skin quality, because it just allows you to showcase so much more detail. And his quads, they kind of remind you of the great Jay Cutler when he was young. So tomorrow is gonna be a great day for bodybuilding. So last year, when GoodVito made his pro debut, he lived up to the hype. The only 2 guys who beat him, they were top Olympians. So this year, GoodVito is aiming for that top 10, at the very least, at the Olympia this year. Burton sends a clear-cut message to all of the critics that if you're expecting that the same 2023 version of Tonio Burton will show up to battle at this upcoming Legion Sports, which is happening after Cali Pro this year, well, all these guys are in for a big surprise. And honestly, we all get it. We all expect him to show up bigger, because if he can do that, he's gonna be so damn dangerous. I mean, he was beating guys 50 pounds heavier than him 2 years back at the Olympia. And I am pretty sure that Tonio Burton was the lightest guy at the Olympia that year when he placed top 8. So the man is blessed with some insane genetics. He has those insane round muscle bellies, amazing quad sweep, phenomenal back development, and with that small waistline comes good aesthetics. So he had it all, except he was lacking a bit of size. And that was the case up until last year. Tonio has been earning his Olympia spot every year since 2022, and even last year, he won Cali Pro, beating some giants. And then he decided to skip the Olympia, and that was just to focus on one thing, to grow, to put on more size. So ever since Tonio Burton made his transition from the 212 into the men's open, this has been his first proper off-season. If only he did not get into that accident, this would have been totally ideal, because he did lose a month or two recovering from all those injuries. So the choice of show by Tonio Burton, that is really good. For 8 weeks out, his conditioning looks totally spot on. And if we look back at his past showings, Tonio Burton has never really had any issue getting truly peeled. So William Bonac just confirmed on Miss Olympia TV that he's doing both the Pittsburgh Pro as well as the New York Pro, but he chose to skip FIBO Germany and a chance to win another 25k in prize money. That in my head makes zero sense, because if that had something to do with his health, then he just won't be competing at all after doing Detroit and getting his Olympia spot. So he's gonna stay in prep. He's gonna continue to do all those things which are necessary to be 100% on the stage. And that means gear, the PEDs, the dieting, the training. But he's missing an easy chance to win another big paycheck. Now only him and his coach, Stefan, they will have a better explanation on why that is the scenario. Because we all know Pittsburgh Pro is gonna be just so damn stacked that William Bonac might not even be in the top 4. So he would compete there, literally for nothing. And the same can be said about the New York Pro as well. And Bonac has announced that he's gonna end the season with the New York Pro. And the next show that he's gonna do afterwards, that is gonna be the Olympia this year in October. So what do you guys think about this strategy? William did say that the Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro, they are gonna allow him to do some experimental things with the peak week. And he also mentioned that one of the biggest reasons why he looked so impressive in Detroit was because of the fact that he hardly cut any water. And even during the carving up, he ate a lot of salt. So that was the major reason. His overall physique, especially his quads, they looked so impressive and so massive on the stage. This, I have got to say, is one badass picture of James Hollingshead just 1 week out of this upcoming FIBO Germany. And when you look at this picture, there is just one thing missing. Not enough development of the abs. Which proves another great point, that genetics, they are the most important aspect, especially at the top level in bodybuilding. And if someone doesn't have good abs or any other muscle group, it just doesn't really matter how much they train them. That just won't magically transform it into a strength. Because I clearly remember that James was doing fasted abs workout for quite some time last year. So the question right now is that, can James win in FIBO? Well, I'm gonna say yes, as him and his coach Stefan, they are still trying to find out the best possible look for him. Now James was full as a house at Detroit Pro last weekend, but he had a more washed out midsection. Now at the Arnold, he was very flat. Chances are, they are gonna try to find a middle ground, as his biggest competition here in FIBO Germany, that is still the same person who beat him in Detroit, Samson Dauda. And James cannot afford to have a totally washed out midsection and the abs area, especially next to a guy like Samson, who has those thick and very deep and very polished abs. So out of the 2 looks that we saw from James this year, the one in Detroit, that was more appreciated, not just by the fans, but he himself, he liked that one more. So this is probably James's final shot at earning his Olympia spot, because on paper, FIBO has a comparatively weaker lineup compared to all of these upcoming shows like Pittsburgh, New York, Cali, and the Legion Sports. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button. if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.